And we're alive. Huzzah. We are existing. Yay. And we are working on feet paws. I started these feet paws yesterday. And they're already almost done. So we are cooking. We are cooking on these feetses. Which is nice. It's nice to actually have the drive to put stuff together. Lately I've been very meh about sewing most things, so then it's like, I don't wanna, but I gotta. No, it's just wet. It's just wet. I promise my hair isn't any shorter. Now we've got... Oh, he wasn't quite done. Got most of a foot paw though. And then we've got the bottoms over there that I still have to put together. And then there's not too much left. Should only take me today and tomorrow-ish. Hopefully. In which case, we'll be cooking. But I just want to... Because this commission's actually kind of small. It is not a full suit commission per se. It is just the bodysuit and the feet paws. So we're not doing any heads or fancy stuff for this one, but that works out for me. Because it's nice to do smaller part commissions once in a while. Between all of your big chaotic ones. Yeah. Although I do have a plan in the works, Jay, that I'm gonna need to blab to you about later, because if I don't blab to you, I'll blab to everybody, and that's the last thing I want to do. Because it is a bit of a sneaky secret, a bit of a surprise personal project involving a lot of things. I've already blabbed a little bit at everybody, but not to the extent. Yeah, I'm gonna blab at you so hard. That sounds wrong. I'm gonna send you a very long voice message is what's gonna happen. It's gonna... Honestly, half of what I'm gonna tell you is probably gonna go right over heads, because I have learned a lot in the last week. I've done so much. Like, I've had to do research. Like, not just, oh, quick Google, find a tutorial. I mean, I have to learn things to do part of what I want to fully do. This is gonna be a big, big project. Big, 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 big. But I'm hoping to start working on it towards the end of the year. Yeah, honestly, maybe. Maybe I just need to call you and we need to talk shit. We need to talk shit, we need to talk about this project. We do voice messages so often when we really should just call each other. Oh, but we're ridiculous. I have ideas, and it's going to involve a lot of complicated. So here's the thing, right? One of the titular parts of this idea is extremely complicated. And I'm not sure it's going to work. It is so complicated, I have to get my dad's help with it. And he actually wants me to fly down to Mississippi to work on it. Which I told him I can't do for the time being. I would like to get these commissions done first. But for right now, we're in the planning stages. And I'm telling you right now, I had to download 2 separate programs just to figure out how I could possibly make this work physically. Exactly. It's so much. And this is just to make sure that, like, all of my things are going to work together. And then I still have to do the work of making said things actually function. That's going to be complicated. And on top of that, I have to do it twice over. You probably already know that part, because I did mention it. Vaguely. A little bit. I know, we should. But I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited, Jay. I want to do the thing. I want to do it now. But I can't do it now. I'm doing commissions. Commissions are more important than my pet projects. But this is very much... This is going to be like Project Gateway drugs. If I can do this, that will open up a lot of things for future commissions as far as possibilities go. Which would be dope. But these are going to be cool. I do also need to go through my furs, because I don't have the time. Project Gateway drugs. That's what it's called now. That is the name of this project. We are calling it Project Gateway Drug. That is its official name. That is its sneaky government name. Project Gateway Drug will not be underway until December-ish. But I need to go through my furs, because like I have such a bad time ordering furs. I order way too much usually, and I need to actually go through them and probably just sell them, because at this point I have too many furs. Too many. Too much fur. And I cannot, for the life of me, make more pre-mates until these ones sell. I have 5 already. That being said, I do want to make one more thing. 2, technically. Because Forrest wants one. Forrest likes laying on the fur. He loves it. He's an asshole about it. Like, he's a little shit when as soon as it's on the floor, he wants to lay on it like a cat. So, I want to make him a mini pelt blanket that's him-sized. Because one side will be fur, one side will be minky, it'll be easy to wash. And he can lay on the soft, comfy fur that he likes. It'll be great. But I also want to make a pre-made pelt blanket, like a full pre-made pelt blanket. Because there are interesting. See, here's the problem with the fur I have on hand. None of it's labeled. So I don't really know what most of it is. Some of it I do know. Like, I know, this is Howl's Black. And I actually have more of Howl's Black shag. I know I have some Big Z yellow. Some of the Howl colors, like I know the mint green and the spring green and the UV orange, and I don't know if I still have UV red. I have red. I have a black red. I can find this now. I have some fire red, primary red shit. Because I have regular red from First Supplies, and then I have UV red from Howl. I do still have some of that terracotta and that seafoam green. But I might keep the seafoam green, because you know how I feel about seafoam green. That's such a pretty color. And then I have a lot of grape. Like, most of my colors I know. It's more an issue with, like, the browns and the creams, because they're so similar. And I have ordered similar ones between Howl and First Supplies. So, exactly. It's on the Hear Me Out cake. I gotta keep the green. It's such a pretty color though. Like, ugh, I would paint my room that color if that wouldn't take a lot of work and if paint weren't expensive. There we go. But yeah, so I'll have to go through and figure out how much of each color I actually have. And then I'm probably going to sell them for about $10 a yard. Because they're all furs that have already been used for commissions and other things, so it's all paid for already, really, on my end at least. I just need it gone more than anything else. So, you know, $10 a yard plus shipping for whatever I got. And then I do have, you can't see it, but there is an Amazon box. I'll grab it. I'll grab the box. I have a box full of chunks, mostly chunks like this big or so, but pretty much anything up to 1/8 of a yard that is larger than the size of my palm. So anything bigger than this up to 1/8 of a yard is in this box. And I figure I'll fill it with all my little bits and cuts, and then when it's too full, I'll weigh it and sell it based on weight. You know, like, honestly, probably just sell that for $15 too. You know, once it's full, $15 plus shipping. Box o' scraps. It'll work great for like ears and details and stuff. It's just I don't do ears and details a lot, so I haven't really had any use for them. If I did, I would love to do a sparkle dog, but I'd also hate to do a sparkle dog, you know? Because that would be so much sewing. I do not want to hand sew that much stuff. It's too much stuff. No. But at the same time, I really want to make one, because, like, exactly, it'll look so cool. Like, I'll be complaining the whole time. My fingers will be gone by the time I'm done. But the finished product? Magical. It'll be amazing. But really, I need to get a lot of these furs out here, because I also have a lot of minky. Like, I have a lot of brown minkies. Is it a little loud? Alright, hold on. How's that? Did that fix it, or is it actually from my laptop that's being a problem? Because it's also playing out of my laptop so I can hear the music, because otherwise it's dead silent in here, and that's way more awkward for me. It's so boring when there's no music in here. Okay, cool. But, it'd probably also help if when I leave, if I tilt the microphone this way, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 totes of fur. I don't know what's in that one. I think that's still my embroidery tote. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 totes. The 5th tote up there is specifically furs that I've had to save. Like, I have the leftover fur from the Rainbow Dragon pre-made, because if I use that fur, I cannot make anything more for that dragon ever again. And I know they've been interested in commissioning more parts, so I put it up there so I'll never touch it. You know, it's just up there until they commission for it. Same goes for a couple other colors up there. I have... Ooh, that looks like some gray. I need that gray. Because that gray I actually need for the cocktail commission. See, it works out. That might be for some feet paws that I'll never do, though. I can always order more gray for it. I have to see what's actually in there. I have colors that are saved for that, you know? Yeah, but the other 4 totes, one of which is almost entirely, well, was almost entirely back. Because here's the thing. Not only do I have 4 large totes busting at the seams full of fur. This is actually one of the smaller totes. I have 2 that are slightly longer that are busting at the seams. I also have this basket of fur, which is what I'm working on for this commission. I'm rolling over fabric. Good thing these wheels are clean. This box of black fur and some other furs left over from Mustard's commission. And then in the closet, there's an entire other box full of fur for the upcoming commission after this one. So, I know there will be extras from all of them. And they're probably going to fill this box up, you know, overflowing. And that's before we even get into the project. So, I have way too many furs. And I need to make some room. Because I have a problem. Hi, hello, baby. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh. Oh, snorty baby. Hey, you're gonna get stabbed if you do that. Yeah, you're gonna get stabbed. Hi, hello. Yes, I love you too. You need a bath. Hold on, he's getting lovin's. Yeah, you're just smearing. Are you good? Oh, big shake. Hi. What do you want? Did you just boop me? Is that what that was? Was that a boop? Oh, you gotta go potty. That was a boop. He booped me on my face, which is a weird one for him because usually he doesn't even want to touch me. So, I will be right back. Alrighty. I am back. But yeah. We have way too many furs. So odds are, once I am done with these feet paws, and I can kind of clean up the floor a bit because there are some fuzzies on the floor and stuff from shaving these feet paws. Quinn, you're here. Hi. But once I'm done with these feet paws, I'm probably gonna sweep up the floors and figure out what furs I have, take pictures, and send those through start selling those either through the group chat or on Dealer's Den, because I have way too much fur. But yeah, so that's how that's going. I am officially almost out of my paw print fabric. I am on the last roll of the white, and the black is already almost empty, to the point that I probably won't have enough for this commission, actually. which means I'm debating using the white paw prints, that way it matches, or using the new brand maroon, so that way it's still the dark palette. Because I like to use dark padding under dark fabric, light padding under light fabrics. But light padding under dark fabric isn't necessarily a problem. So, you know, it's... yeah. Oh, hi. Did you go potty? Oh, yeah, you poked yourself. I bet that hurt. I told you you were going to get stabbed. Careful. Watch your face. Hi. Hello. Oh, hi. Did you have fun outside? Did you? Yeah? I know, Bingus is in your spot. Bingus, why aren't you in your chair? You want to get in your chair, babe? You can get up here. Oh, is the computer in your way? Is that your problem? There you go. No? She seems mad at me. She's like, I don't wanna. Bingus, you want up-ups? You want up in your chair? Yeah? There you go, babe. Now your brother can lay in his spot. Yeah. You gonna go lay down? I see you brought me your rope. I'm not throwing it. We're not throwing your toy right now. No, we're not. Can you lay down, please? Thank you, good boy. We spent a while this morning just throwing the ball. And normally I'll throw the ball and run around the house with him. She's comfy. I don't know why she didn't get in her chair in the first place. She likes that chair. She usually climbs in it on her own all the time. So, it's kind of odd that she didn't. She might just be a little sore, though. Huh? Are you sore? Yeah. Yeah. Her brain hole's healing up real good, though. So yes, it is. Skin tag's gone, and now we're just waiting for the fur to grow back. I don't know if the fur's gonna grow back there. Quinn says hi, guys. I don't know what the fur's gonna grow back where her skin tag was, because it's a lot of scar tissue right there. So I don't think it's going to. But that's okay. You'll just have a little teeny tiny bald spot. Yeah. Teeny tiny bald spot on the bingo. Say a bald spot's better than a bloody spot. Because that was the big thing, was getting that skin tag off, because somebody kept chewing on it and opening it up. We didn't want her getting an infection or anything. And luckily she didn't before we got it taken care of, so. And luckily it didn't get infected because somebody still tried to chew on the scab. The easiest solution was to put a cone on him most of the time. Because if we put a cone on Bingus, Bingus couldn't get to her scab. Not that she really cared to. She did, towards the end, itch a little bit because the scab was dry. But that wouldn't stop him because he would just stick his face into her cone to chew on it. Which made no sense. But if you put it on him, Sarah's scared of the cone because it's big plastic. And big plastic is scary. Yeah, yes it is. It's big scaries. So if he came near her while wearing the cone, she would actively move away from him. Whereas normally she just lets him chew on her all day and all night. So. You smell something interesting, Bingus? You got real interested all of a sudden. Yes. You're fine. I've just been blabbing about Bingus and her hole. She's got another little skin tag right here on her muzzle. I thought it was a bloody spot, but it's just a skin tag. That one should be fine, because Forrest doesn't usually chew on that part of her face. And it's small. It's not big like the other one was. The other one was huge. A big old lump. And Forest's lump is looking a lot better. Oh, it did. It got reopened like 2 or 3 times while it was healing up, but it's finally healed up. It's now just a bunch of scar tissue right there, so I don't think the fur's gonna grow back on that spot, but she'll be alright. It'll grow back mostly. It'll be mostly covered. Better to be a little bald than have a bloody hole. Ribs. They smell good. Barbecue ribs. We're having pot roast for dinner. Brain hole. I know. We got baby carrots. We got not Goldens, Idaho potatoes, and then we've got a rump roast. Oh fuck, I don't remember what kind of roast we got. It's probably chuck on accident. I usually buy a rump roast because, surprisingly, the rump roast has less fat than the chuck roast. But the Boston butt roast usually comes a lot bigger, but that also has a lot of fat. So it's great for stews more so than roasts. But we got that going in the crock pot, so that'll be done in time for dinner. And I can smell it, and it smells so good. But right now it's lunchtime, and microwave rib meal thing smells really good. I already ate. I had cereal and some Cheetos. Because I'm so healthy. Huzzah, cereal. We've got store brand Cap'n Crunch right now, is what we've got. Because we finished off our Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows. There we go. We've got the Dino bag. Because before we had the green bag with the Fruity Pebbles. So it was the Fruity Pebbles and marshmallows. Oh, you're talking about what we've got now. No, we've got the berries. We've got the Cap'n Crunch berries. My dad likes the peanut butter one, so that one's his favorite. I ate so much peanut butter Cap'n Crunch as a kid, I can't stand it anymore. It is horrendous to me these days. But we had it all the time because that was Dad's favorite cereal. I like the fruitier cereals. Not a big fan of Cap'n Crunch, though. It hurts my face. I'm not a big fan when things hurt my face. But I do like the berries. And then tomorrow, we're supposed to be getting more groceries coming in. So we'll have good dinners for the weekend for everybody. I bought some strawberry Pocky the other day. Oh, I haven't had that shit in so long. I love that fake strawberry smell. It's delicious. And then we tried some Pringles. The Pringles were not good. Like, I haven't had Pringles in years. And I remember them being, like, you would open the jar, the tube, you would open the Pringles tube, and you'd have one chip, and then suddenly the container was empty, because they were just that good, you know? Like, you couldn't help yourself, you were just eating Pringles. No, Noah got cheddar and sour cream, I think. And then I got the sour cream and onion. The cheddar were okay. They weren't as good as the Pringles used to be, but they were okay for a chip. The sour cream and onion, though, with its new and improved flavor, now better flavored, tasted like they dipped a chip into a cold vat of oil so it would, be greasy, and then dusted it with a little bit of onion powder and called it, like, barely, like, an essence of onion powder on it, and called it good. There was no flavor, and they tasted sad and stale. I know, like, those were so good. I used to get those and the salt and vinegar ones, and apparently I should have gotten the salt and vinegar. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck? I got a refund for them. And apparently, this is not a fluke, like, at all. There are many, many, many people complaining about Pringles flavors lately, especially the sour cream and onion. And I'm like, God damn it. So yeah. Don't get a sour cream and onion Pringle can. It's not good at all. They are not the same as they used to be, and it drives me nuts. I wish companies wouldn't cheap out on shit, you know? Like, you had a good product, and now you made it crappy. Jeez, I know, I haven't had Pringles. Well, Pringles are expensive for a chip, you know? Like, you used to be able to get a full bag of chips for the same price as a can of Pringles. Nowadays, a full family-sized bag of chips is $6, but, you know. It used to be cheap, because chips are cheap. Chips are easy, and it's like, why am I buying chips? Why? I know why. It's because the only chips I can make at home are plain flavor, because I am not good at seasoning chips. I'll figure it out one of these days. I'll figure out a good seasoning to do for chippies. And then I'll make my own delicious homemade sour cream and onion or salt and vinegar chips. Dip-a-doo. Dip-a-dip-a-doo, dip-a-doo, dip-a-doo. I say the homemade ones are good. But yeah, like, I don't like original chips for the most part. Like, I like them to have some sort of flavor. I like the baked Lay's chips in particular because they're not so greasy. They're not as gross to eat, if you ask me. So I really like all the baked Lay's chips. I like their original. The original, the baked Lay's isn't bad, but I'm a bigger fan of the cheddar baked or the barbecue baked. But yeah, if I can figure out some good seasonings for my homemade chips, I'll be making those so often. I'll cook an entire 5-pound bag of potatoes if I have to. We will have good chippies. Eesh. But, you know, it is what it is. I just won't be buying Pringles again anytime soon, because that was more than sad. That was a waste of money, is what that was. And I could spend it on much better tasting snacks. So I will. But the Pocky was delicious. That was good. Like, I never really realized that Pocky is just like a chocolate-covered pretzel stick. That's really all it is a really good chocolate-covered pretzel stick. Now that I ate in one sitting. I inhaled those. I was like, I'm gonna ration these. I'll only have a couple sticks, and then I ate them all. I was like, damn it, those were expensive. Those were, you know, a little treat just for me. Because because I haven't given myself a little treat in a long while. We don't usually have money for little treats. Usually it's, you know, meat, vegetable, pasta, because that's what we can afford. I know. I got little treats. I also got, brain hole ice cream. I got a tub of cookie dough ice cream. Ben and Jerry's cookie dough ice cream. That's the fancy shit. And if I'm paying that much for cookie dough ice cream, there better be a lot of cookie dough in that ice cream. Because I will be mad otherwise if it's just vanilla with like 5 things of cookie dough. To be fair, there was a coupon, so that's really the only reason I actually got Ben and Jerry's. But, you know. I would happily eat just the cookie dough out of cookie dough ice cream, you know? Just the little tiny cookie dough balls. I could also just make my own tiny cookie dough balls. But it's not the same. Doesn't have whatever magical chemicals the companies put in them. Come on, behave. This guy does not. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds so good. I saw a recipe on TikTok for orange creamsicle cookies. And it was literally like flour, orange jello, orange gelatin, sugar, something else. I want to say vanilla, if I remember right. And then white chocolate chips. And I'm a little skeptical about the gelatin in the cookie. But yeah, they said if it is as good as it looked... Oh, I'll have to send you the recipe that I saw. I'll have to send you the video. Because, oh my god, that sounded so good. I will happily buy orange gelatin and white chocolate chips. I have everything else. And I will make a batch of creamsicle cookies, because could you imagine chunks of that in vanilla ice cream? Like, oh, that would be so good. That would literally just be a creamsicle ice cream. Like, interesting. I did not know. I don't bake a lot. I don't do a whole lot of baking or cooking in general, really. I don't got time for that. I'm sewing. But, that sounds really good. So, like, imagine you made those cookies without the white chocolate chips in them, crumble them up, put them in the vanilla ice cream, and then put the white chocolate chips separately in the vanilla ice cream. I think that would be fucking delicious. That would make such a good ice cream. I worry that it might be too sweet. But I don't like a lot of the really complicated ice creams, like the Moose Tracks and shit like that. It's too much for me. Like, I don't want chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate with a drizzle of caramel, you know? Like, that's too much. I like the simple... Like, I don't like plain vanilla, but cookie dough is simple, you know? It's the vanilla and then it's the cookie dough, so there's not too much in there, but you still get a little bit of something that's not just vanilla. All right. I've been sitting too much, but I can't run around because I hurt my leg yesterday. Well, like a dumbass. That is true. That is true. You could mellow it out if you did homemade ice cream. That would definitely be good for the orange creamsicle, because I feel like a lot of creamsicle stuff does it way too sweet. You know, I honestly don't know. I ran like 5 feet, and then I had a pain shooting down right here on the inside of my thigh, and then down like the back left side of my thigh. And now when I walk, if I move too fast, it hurts, and it just shoots like down the nerve. So I thought I pinched it. So I tried like popping my hip and seeing if that would help, because that's usually what happens, you know. I pinch a nerve, I pop my hip, and the nerve's no longer pinched. But this is a different spot than the usual, so I don't know what it's doing, but owie. So running hurts, but also like my lower back is sore. I've just been sitting too much. Too sedentary. And then I tried playing with the dogs like an idiot. This table's making me mad, I tell you what. Like, it's barely... I don't know what caused this. Is it just from sitting stuff on the table? Because there's scratches and there's little dots and stuff. This table's basically brand new. I'm not that rough with it. Oh well. Also, have you ever seen double-sided EVA before? Because this is new. This is new for me. I normally buy half-inch EVA, but I've noticed that that's not enough for feet paws without shoes in them. Like, it makes your feet really sore. There's not enough padding there for your feet. But both sides on all of these sheets. Well, this side's glittery. I don't own glitter. Someone made this shit glittery. I'm going to rinse that off. Anyway. But both sides of these feet are the textured side, because this is 3/4 inch EVA, which is really weird. I have never seen... Because that doesn't make sense. You want to lay it flat on the floor and not have it, you know? You know? But what do I know? I don't know shit. I'd never seen that before, so I was like, that's weird. But these ones are thicker, so it'll hopefully be more comfortable for walking around on. Granted, it's a texture underneath your feet now, so I don't know how much more comfortable. All things considered, I'm kind of very annoyed about that, because I bought it from the same company that I buy my half-inch from, and the half-inch mats are texture smooth, not texture, so I don't know. I have tested it with the fabric on top, just to see how it felt underfoot, and it didn't feel too bad. It actually was pretty comfortable, because it's still an EVA mat, you know, it's like walking around on the floor at the gym. Especially if you're wearing socks, I imagine it'll be perfectly comfortable. But I don't know what that means for, like, long-term wear, you know? Like, I don't know... Oh. Yeah. I don't know how comfortable that would be with... walking around like at a con and stuff. I imagine it won't be an issue though, because again, it's all EVA, it's all squishy, and it's meant to be walked on, so. And I used to run around on foam padding like this all the time as a kid, barefoot, so. It might be comfy, it might not be super comfy. But at least the thicker padding, because it's 3/4 of an inch, not half an inch, it being thicker will definitely help with walking around. Because like the big issue is like Patch's feet paws are the half-inch EVA. So it's just foot, feet, outdoors. And I had inches of, if I'm walking on gravel, I could feel every single, it was basically like walking on the gravel barefoot. You could feel all of it, which was not great. Kind of awful, actually. So if I ever remake his feet paws, I'm going to use thicker EVA. That's why I am now switching to the thicker EVA. Which, his feet paws weren't a big deal, because most of the events I go to are indoors. Hot glue gun. I need my hot glue gun. That's what I'm looking for. But even walking around indoors, my feet would get sore. But I think it's just because I don't walk around barefoot very well. I need the extra arch support. You don't get a lot of that arch support walking around barefoot. So even like at home walking around without feet paws, my ankles and my feet get sore. So I'm old, I guess. I don't know. But that's why I also put shoes into Patch's feet paws at this point. Because first off, they could fit shoes. Because they're way too big on me. While they are adjustable, they can only do so much. You cannot go from a men's 15 to a women's 6.5. It just doesn't happen. But that's why I now have a smaller pattern for smaller size feetses. I say smaller size feetses fairly loosely though, because generally it's a plantigrade pattern. But if you are on the particularly small end of shoe size, I will use the plantigrade feet paw pattern with a digigrade bodysuit. And if you are on the particularly large size and don't fit into the plantigrade feet paws, you will still get the digigrade pattern with a plantigrade suit, you know, because you gotta fit your toes in somehow. And these linings do go all the way from end to end on the paws, so if you don't fucking fit, you don't fucking fit. Oh, before I glue these on, fudge nut. Well, never mind. I got excited for nothing. Shh. I was like, I have to label them left and right, but then I remember these are sock paws. So there is no left and right. They just are. They're the same pattern either way. I'm just a whittle special. It's okay. I do usually label them for built-in shoes, though. Built-in shoes will get... They're awful dramatic, I guess. Built-in shoes will get labels because it does matter which foot you put your foot in on those. It does not matter with these. You just put your feetsies in, you know. And I like them because they're like slippers. There we go. But already we are most of the way through making these feet paws, which is nice. I've been cooking with these. And now, while the stripes do go down to the ankles, generally, kind of, they get fairly low on the reference sheet for, because this guy is a tiger. So his stripes do go pretty much down to like here-ish, and then down to like here-ish, which is right about where the cuff on the foot paw ends, give or take, as well as where the bodysuit overlaps. So I did not include stripes on the feet paws because the bodysuit is going to overlap them anyway, and it seemed like they might be too short for where the stripes end on the reference sheet. Like, it was very close as to whether or not it was on the feet paws. So, we're just gonna do all of the stripes on the bodysuit and the solid black for the feet paws. And I need another hot glue stick from a hot glue gun. Yes. So they already have a mini partial, so we're just kind of finishing out their full suit for them, which is always fun. It also means I get to sew less stripes, so that's dope. Because again, as much as I love doing the complicated suits, I also hate hand sewing all the pieces. So I both am and am not looking forward to the bodysuit for this guy, because he's got a lot of stripes, and a lot of those stripes overlap a couple different colors with like little sections, so there'll be like little small pieces of other colors underneath the stripes, if that makes sense, that I'll have to hand sew in. So his bodysuit is probably going to take me a lot of work. It's gonna take a hot minute to do. Yeah. But they always turn out, don't they? They always turn out really well when you put in all the work, and they just look so damn good. Yeah, the lo-fi one turned out so good, like with the lighting from the laptop and stuff. That one was so detailed. I like that one. I liked the one card you did for, well, I liked a couple of the cards you did for the Minecraft thingy. I'm actually gonna, this is folding up and I don't like that. We're gonna cut that. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Now it'll lay flat. Yeah, the wildlife cards. That's what I'm talking about. I like the chicken. But I also like the lightning you did on the other one. That turned out really good. The chicken one just turned out really good overall. Lay flat, damn it. Along this edge right here, because I don't want that fraying later. And we're going to reinforce it just a little bit. Better to reinforce it than to make it not be enforced enough. I'm actually going to tuck this ankle in a little more because it keeps flopping. Fold in on yourself. Thank you. I know he did, because at one point the redstone looked like a river of blood poop. A river of chicken blood. But in the end it turned out real good. And that background turned out nice. It was a good card. And there's that. I know. Chicken, period. I'm ready for a nap. Alright, break time. Let me just Sharpie in this part of the desk. Alright, break's over. Oh man, right as the ad starts, Oh, that's funny. It would work really good for a time lapse. You know, like when you're just kind of doing a thing and there's nobody talking, like just stuff is happening really fast. I lost the chunk of hot glue I peeled off. Oh well. And then this one has to go like so. We're gonna tuck this guy in again. Royalty free is royalty free, man. Gotta do what I gotta do to not be sued. Actually, where did I put the box cutter? There it is. There we go. I like to score the EVA because that it's kind of like clay, you know, it helps it adhere into the foam a little bit better. Because there's kind of like a plasticky layer on top, and then there's the inner foam, which again, not usually an issue, but in this case it definitely is, but I score them anyway, just because it helps it get a little bit more grip between the foam and the fabric. But I also use high temp hot glue, which, you know, adheres to foam pretty good anyway. So either way, we're doing great. I'm trying very hard not to burn my fingers right now. I say as I proceed to burn my fingers. I am not succeeding, guys. I am burning. More glue. Ah, no. Only the life of an idiot with a hot glue, Jay. I already had glue. I go through so much hot glue, it's not even funny. I bought a 5-pound box of hot glue. I probably have 300 hot glue sticks in this drawer alone. Or at least close to it. And that's like half the box. I did not buy that box that long ago. But, you know, depending on the suit, I go through a lot, I go through a little, and, you know, it depends. Depends on the suit. Depends on what parts I'm making, what needs to be glued, what doesn't. Like these feet paws, this is the only part on these feet paws that gets glued. And I don't use hot glue if it's built-in shoes. I use E6000 because we've had issues of shoes that were installed with hot glue disconnecting from the EVA, even with scoring. Whereas I have not had that issues if I cure some E6000 onto them instead. They do make a weird noise, though, with the E6000. Like, it kind of crunches. But I think that's more of an application issue than anything else. So, feet paws with built-in shoes, no hot glue. Hand paws, no hot glue. Tail, no hot glue. Bodysuit, teeny tiny bit of hot glue. Like, maybe a stick at most. And usually it's not a whole stick, it's like a third of a stick, let's be honest. Specifically for reinforcing the butthole. Because we don't want that to stretch over time. Then you'd have a gaping butthole, and nobody wants a gaping butthole. That would be weird. So instead, hot glue. And some fleece. You don't want raw hot glue, that would be silly. That would just be ridiculous. And now this one's done. Huzzah! Alright. So now there's only 2 things left to do with these feet paws. Technically 3, but, you know, I don't count the third one really because it takes all of 2 minutes. We need to glue the fur onto the feet paw bases. And then we need to sew the cuffs to the cuffs. We need to sew the cuffs closed. And then the third thing after that is to stuff them. But, like I said, I don't really count that because stuffing takes all of 5 seconds. But I do the same thing on the sides as I do on the top. I do score them. Just so that way the hot glue has a little bit more to stick to. Not that I cut this very well in the first place. I'm not good at cutting through EVA, so it's an uneven, jagged kind of cut on the edge. Which only works to my benefit, because like I cut out the shape. That's fine. The edge is the problem. Because we want it to be able to actually hold what we glue onto it. Aw, man, there's hot glue on my table. Now it's gonna peel. And we'll cross hatch it. There we go. And then I like to start with the toes because those have to be glued on the toe spot. And then we can stretch the rest of the paw as we need it to be. Make sure we actually have the middle toe bean, because that's, you know, important. I have glued the wrong bean. I have glued the wrong bean to the wrong bean corner before. And that usually sucks. This will also help us having the 3/4 inch EVA. Will help quite a bit, actually, because it'll give us more surface area to hot glue the bottom edges to, which, while with the 1/2 inch it isn't an issue of peeling, it usually adheres really well. It is less of a surface area, so I do occasionally, like I've had like 1 or 2 teeny tiny holes that I've had to re-glue on Patch's feet over the years. But he also has a much older version of my feet that I'm pretty sure I did not cross-hatch, so, you know, got a hot glue stringy on me. Hot glue stringy. Hi! Look, we're making so much progress. Your feetses are almost in existence. We're just doing, so we've already got the bottoms and the linings done. And then the fur is all sewn for the feet. So we're gluing the fur onto the feet right now. And then after that, we just have to sew the ankle cuffs before we stuff them. Because there is, so, since you're here, I can actually tell you, but I'll give you, everybody who gets a bodysuit gets a tutorial video, because people usually ask how to wear it, how to put padding in and stuff like that, so it'll just answer all the questions and stuff that you might have for certain parts. But your feet paws have zippers in them, so they're easy for cleaning. And then you can adjust the stuffing if they're not snug enough, or if they're too snug, or, you know, whatever you want. It just makes life easier that way. Which also means that we can completely sew up the foot paw before we actually have to stuff them. Unlike hand paws, which we have to stuff before we sew. Yay! I'm glad you like it so far. I always worry that things won't be good. Very paranoid. I want things to turn out good. So I'm glad you like it. Yeah. Now, finish gluing up this other toe over here. Come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, for whatever reason, a lot of the times, these toes come out just a tad bit too wide for the actual base, the toes on the base, which is weird, because that's, I don't know why it's like that. Whatever I patterned it off of was weird. But I forgot. Lost my brain. It's gone. No more brain hole. But that's why we glue corners of each toe first, and then glue the feet paw. So now we got our 2 middle toes all glued on. And now we can do the hard part of making sure that this will actually hit glue all the way around. There we go. Cool beans. And honestly, I think a lot of the toes being bigger than the foam base has to do with how fabric stretches, and how it was traced on the fur, because fur is actually a stretchy fabric. A surprisingly stretchy fabric, even if you have high quality fur. A lot of cheaper furs don't stretch. They're very stiff and scratchy. But furs from like Howell and Fursuit Supplies tend to be a little stretchy. Oh, got some glue on the fur. That's alright, this part has to be trimmed anyway. Snippy snippy. Cut out that chunk for now. If I don't cut out the chunk of glue, then it'll be a pain in the butt to shave the bottoms later. And then whatever doesn't get shaved off will go in with some rubbing alcohol. to gently remove it from the fur instead of cutting the fur in funky ways. Isopropyl is an amazing way to get hot glue out of fur. Just take a Q-tip or a cotton ball, drench it in isopropyl, and just wherever the hot glue is. I don't know the science, I just know it works. I use it a lot if I mess up around the edge of eyes on suits. When I'm lining with the felt around the eyes. Eesh. Now, if anyone has noticed, I did start this stream early today. And that's because I once again forgot that Wednesdays are 2 to 4. So, because I am awful with time, and apparently I've decided that every stream needs to start at 2 instead of 4 to 6, we're just going to do all the streams at 2, except for Thursdays. Thursdays will just be whenever I feel like it, but probably at 2, because it's just a habit at this point. But Thursdays are bonus stream days anyway, so. That's when we play video games for funsies, to take a break. It's good to take a break from work, because otherwise you run yourself ragged. And I am very good at doing that. Plus, I like playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's a good game. And I did get it to work last stream. I know there was an issue before when I tried playing it where it wasn't working. But now, it works, and it runs beautifully. Which is nice. I'm covered in hot glue. Hot glue stringies. There we go. Oh, perfect. I don't like that. Actually, do I have... I don't think I do. I do, it's just around. I was thinking about sandpapering that spot. Because it had an uneven kind of chunk. And I want to make sure that the fur is flush on the bottom. There we go. There we go. Good shit, good shit. Huzzah! There we go. And now we're most of the way glued up around here. There are some ugly edges and some loose bits yet, but I usually go back through and I double check everything, clean it up once when I have it all glued on. Because that's easier than trying to fix stuff as I go when the glue is still hot. It'd be a pain in the butt that way sometimes. Come on, fur. There we go. Hot. Hot, 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 hot. It's a good thing that piece was already partly cooled at least. And it was still hot. I'm trying really hard to not get hot glue all over the top side, which in some spots is easier than others. But the bottoms of the feet paws get shaved because, like, while this pot looks good, this here is kind of, you know, a lot of fur to have on the bottom, so I go right up along the bottom. And it keeps there from being a bunch of dirty fur on the ground and stepping on your own fur as you walk and stuff like that. And it just makes it look nicer, cleans it up a bit. Good stuff. Stupid glue. The spots that give me the most trouble on feet paws are where the seams are, because the glue needs to get down into the little seam folds and actually close them. Otherwise you'll have this funky little loop pocket where stuff can just get in and out. And that's no good. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants free range hot glue. There we go, he's all glued on, and he looks a little funky because he's not stuffed yet, but you know, he exists. He got toesies. Fit bub. It'll look a lot better once when it's stuffed. The stuffing does wonders. Which is also true for hand paws. Hand paws also look way better with a little bit of stuffing in certain areas. Like I stuff the fingers, the finger beans, the paw pads, you know. But I also stuff the back of the hand just a little bit. Because then when you bend your hand like this, you don't have floppy fabric. You have nice, puffy, rounded paw. And I think that's just, you know, it just makes it look nicer. It's a good little touch. A lot of this really is personal preferences. The stompers to be existing. So like now I'm going back, there's some spots where even though I glued down, there's kind of a loose flappy flap. I could probably actually find one in show camera, but you guys are far away. Yeah. Like on this toe right here, there is a little spot where the fur didn't glue down all the way. So, we're just going back through and we're adding a little tiny bit of glue and making sure they're all glued down. That way if you know, are walking around outside and stuff and you're stepping on rocks, they don't catch the edge of the fur and rip it off the foot paw. Because that's the last thing you want. Hot. There we go, cool beans. No, hot beans. Hee 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 hee. And the hard part is trying to glue these down nicely without getting hot glue frickin' everywhere. Because it just kind of wants to go all over the bottom of the paw. And our goal is to get as little of it on the bottom of the paw as possible. Hot, 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 hot. It doesn't help that it's actually pretty warm in here right now. The office does not get very good AC. Man, this guy's got a lot of little pockets. That just didn't even adhere right. That's because that's where there's a seam. Seams never do. Seams are buttholes. They're rude. They're evil. I'm going to hold him for a little bit to make sure he actually stays, because that was a big one. Cool beans. Burn, 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 burn. Da, da, da. Bum, 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 da, ba, da, ba. And now I just gotta go around and trim any funky spots. That spot needs to be glued down. Glue. Eek. Hot glue. There we go. There we go. We don't want to have excess fabric on top of any of the edges either. You want it to go all the way to the edge, but not around over top of them, which isn't always easy. Of course, there's still some spots that are deciding to be rude. onion rings. At least with that part. We still gotta shave and sew it later. So now, we can do the other one. Huzzah! Oh, sorry, Forrest. Yeah. Did the cord touch your face? I'm just looking at your eyeballs, don't mind me. It's like, mother, why? He's just a baby. He's just a baby. Jay, stop scrolling. Do your arts, dang it. I have to murder this football before I can glue it. I believe in you, buddy. You can do art. Why murder? We've been over why murder. It's like clay. You must murder. If you want the glue to stick, you have to stab. That's the way this works. Yeah, no, not that kind of murder. No, this is a perfectly good football still. Don't worry. Around and round and round we go. Round and round and round we go. Future me's problem. All right. Gluing in our corners again. All nice and secure. So how's everybody's day going? My day? Very boring. Haven't done much. Been watching a lot of YouTube. Doing a lot of sewing. Threw the ball for Forrest a little bit. He went running around. We got a toe. Toe is existing. I could turn the music up on here, but then you wouldn't be able to hear me. Plus, I don't think this music's catchy. What is this? What is playing right now? Brazilian jazz bossa nova. No wonder it sounds like an elevator. Is this better? It's probably still too chill. You need hype music. Like some Nickelback. play the pool party playlist for yourself. There we go. Alright. Go back to this toe now. And I would appreciate it if everybody glued down a lot nicer this time around, so I didn't have to cover and fix everything 15 times over. That would be dope. I think I know who you're talking about. I feel like I've heard of it before. I don't know, I've never been good at people or band names. You know this. So who knows? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Probably from you, yeah. If it's from anybody. Might be from TikTok, what do you know? Maybe I'm on loud music side of TikTok. I'm not on the loud music side of TikTok. I'm on the here's songs that make you feel old as shit side of TikTok. And then they play really obscure 2000s music. Or they play 90s pop hits. No in between. Don't you worry though, Fiti Palos. I get funny animal videos. Oh, and that one guy that's trying to create a new song, but it's really just a bad parody of other songs. But he insists he wrote it himself. Freaking, what's his name? We've been over this already. I'm not gonna remember his name. I already know it's not in my noggin. I don't think I ever knew his name. Not even once. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. Now we stretch our fur again. Okay. Glue in some toes. Interesting. That definitely has not come across my For You page. I have been getting way too much soda pop though, and I really need them to stop doing it to FNAF because they are going to kill me at this rate. Do you know how many Bite of 87 soda pop edits I've gotten? Like 5. Plus one of Springtrap. It's ridiculous. It's so silly. They're gonna kill me. I'm gonna I'm gonna get, like, one of these days, I'm gonna get so many of them. Yes! It's just, it's evil because they put the little 8-bit sound effect where the pop is. And I'm like, God, you can't do that. It's so rude. They're gonna make me spit out my soda. I can't even drink my soda pop. I also haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen a lot of movies. Oh, apparently they officially released the Zootopia 2... They released the Zootopia 2 official trailer recently, today or yesterday, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know everyone is really excited for the movie and whatnot, but I don't know about it. But of course, it's only, you know, a 30-second ad that gives away pretty much none of the plot. Either none of the plot or all of the plot. That's the interesting thing, is either the entire plot has already been given to us and it's not good, or where you've been given none of the plot, so it's hard to really know what's going on. I hope it'll be good. I want to be excited for it. But also, Disney's recent movies. Yeah, like, I'm not really sure what their plan is for the movie. We'll see, I guess. I just really, really hope they didn't cheap out. And it's not some random AI garbage that they're throwing at us. Oh, Forrest died. Don't worry, I got it. I am free from the glue. Ugh. I don't know if I sent it to the weirdos or if I just sent it to Amber. But I didn't send it to you because it was a little bug. But you know, like the stick bug video, the stick bug meme? It was just like a little teeny tiny grasshopper. And then suddenly, gone. Because he yumped. He yumped so fast the camera couldn't even catch it. He straight up just disappeared. And it was very cute and kind of funny. But he was like maybe... Like he was just a little tiny guy. Oh yeah, I hid that page on my website too. There's actually a couple hidden pages on my website at this point. Because I'm also planning... There's some things that might happen that severely depend on how my applications go. So I have to, you know, if I do end up doing it, I need to have a terms and conditions page specific for it. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could add it to my regular TOS page, but I don't know how often I'm going to do them. I wouldn't necessarily call it secret, but it depends on whether or not I get into the dealer's den at MCFC mostly. Because I have too many stuff and things. But we'll find out. I'm also thinking of, if I do get in the dealer's den, I might actually do an auctioned item. Because I think, first off, that would be fun. But I think that might help me out a little bit. Because the issue the last couple times I've been vending has been that people just generally don't have a lot of money anymore. Like, they don't have as much as they did. So people aren't spending as much as they used to. Just across the board, I've noticed. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, but there's not many. So I think doing an auction on an item or two would be a good way to kind of guarantee that they will sell, even if it's not for much. Just because, you know. But at the same time, people spend more at cons than they do on the dealer's den, on the website, I mean. Because they go to cons, kind of for that. And people impulse buy stuff at cons a lot. So I think it'd be cool to do that. But hopefully, I'll get lucky enough and we'll have a space at MCFC. I'm trying to kind of figure out a good way to adjust my table a little bit. Because at this point, I feel like I have not enough space on a table for stuff and things. But at the same time, I also feel like I'm not using it as best I could. So I'm going to try a few more layout options. Bingus's nose is whistling. She's got it smushed up against her wrist. was like, who's squeaking? But that's, that's future me's problem as we get closer to it, because I have to, know if I'm even going or not. There is that, and I believe just one other fur con, because I was debating applying for MFF again this year, especially since they now have a larger dealer's den space. But it's in Chicago, and the hotel's expensive, and parking is expensive, and I really, really would need to sell. Like, I feel like I would sell out there, but at the end of the day, at this point in time, I don't know that I necessarily have enough to justify it, because I might sell $4,000 while I'm there. But if it costs me $4,000 to go, it's not worth it, because I know the price for one of the hotel rooms when we went, because I was nosy and I was looking at stuff, was around $1,200, $1,500 just for the hotel, plus $30 a day for parking. I think it was $35 actually. It was expensive, like it was not cheap at all. But, and then you have to actually bring everything there and pay for registration still, because a lot of cons, surprisingly, do not include registration with their dealer's dens. I still don't get that. If you accept someone to vend at your event, they shouldn't have to also pay more to be, like, they already paid for the space. They shouldn't have to pay more to be allowed in the building. That just seems silly, like that's like paying rent for an apartment and then having to pay an extra $5 just to use your own key. Like, that seems silly to me. But I digress. You just gotta pay for it. So that's more money. So at the end of the day, it costs, I did the math, it was close to like $3,000 to actually go to MFF and vend there for the weekend. Which could be easy. That's how much I usually make at cons, is around $3,000. But also, a lot of the cons I usually vend at don't have the draw that MFF does. So I don't know how much of a difference that would make. Like, I might sell a lot more, or I might not. And then, of course, taxes. Taxes are difficult. That's a whole other thing. But it is what it is, so we'll find out. Either I go to something or I don't, and then other things happen instead. Anyway. Hole. There is a hole. There is a hole. Hole, 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 hole. Good stuff, good stuff. I hope you're not scrolling, Jay. Are you doodling? What are you supposed to be doodling? I know you said you were supposed to be drawing something. Hot. She dreaming. Oh, little feetsies are going. So damn cute. You were getting water. How frickin' dare you? You're supposed to be dry. How dare you be hydrated? Art is pain, art is pain. Oh, yeah. V-Proof? Oh. Yes! I was like, V. It was not coming across in my noggin. My brain was gone. I remember you talking about that, though, because you were talking about that at the pool party? No. At one point, you mentioned it, I remember. Because then we talked about how that might mess with your head, because we're not sure how you'd really hold it on without the head straps. But it would be cool. I wonder... You think doing a bucket style would be better? So then it sits more like on top of your head rather than on the back. You'd have a bit more overall support. So I wonder if you could put a bucket on the back of a protogen. Because it doesn't have to be like a full bucket. It could just be like a half dome. So then it stops like right here, right at the crown. That way it's not touching lower than that. But I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't really hold it. I feel like that might be too high up and it would still fall forward a lot. You could, though. I think something that would help would be to weigh down the neck in the back. So that way it kind of tilts it up if the back side is heavier than the front side. Or at least helps it balance some. Because I know that's usually like with my heads, they're really front heavy up until I get the head and neck on, and then they're not too bad. But I know like with the pockets in the front, if you put your phone in that pocket in the neck, it tends to kind of pull the head down because then it's way too heavy even with the extra fur. So I know Spade usually puts his power bank in his pocket because power banks are heavy. So depending on how long your wiring is for it, you could probably just have a pocket in the back of the neck for the power bank. But then that would sit at like right between your shoulder blades all the time too, which might not be super comfortable depending on how big it is. Because I use these little itty bitty guys. You know, they're tiny. But I know Spade's freaking plugs 8 different things into it. Those just have one USB plug and that's it, so. Oh, yeah. Oh, your little tongue! Oh, she blepping! Oh, she just... Babe, your tongue. Your little tongue is sticking. Yes, it is. Did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap, Bingus? Oh, my goodness. Oh. I don't know if I get up if she'll readjust her face. Yeah? You gonna stay right there? Ah! She yawned. Dang it. Oh. Because the camera's over there and she's right here, so I gotta like... She doesn't like when I do stuff behind her because she's worried it's gonna fall onto her. Oh, but she totally had just a little tiny, teeny blep. Oh. Dang it. Yeah, she did a big ol' yawn. And then, of course, Forrest is just over here corpsing. He's there. That song's stuck in my head. Which is dumb for a movie I haven't even seen. I want to assume it's like a trailer for it, but it might have also been... Did I send you the edit? I sent you that. It was really good. I don't know if it was an edit or a trailer. That's how good it was. But I really want to see the movie. I don't have any of the platforms. I only have like 2 of the platforms, and they don't have it. So I can't watch it. That's the thing I hate. Is I'll be like, oh, I really want to watch this movie. What's it on? Only the things you don't have. God damn it. You know, like... Yep, I don't have Netflix. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Disney Plus. We have HBO, which has nothing. And then I do have Paramount, which has SpongeBob. It might be Netflix exclusive. I don't know what it's on, to be honest with you. So, I just know it's not on HBO or Paramount. So, but that's usually the way it goes with movies. It's like, oh, I want to watch this movie. It's not new. It's an older movie. It should be on a couple of them, right? No, none of the ones I have. Never either of the ones I have. And it's like, but I also don't pay for them, so I can't complain too much. I'm furry now. I can feel it on my face. Alright. It is 4 o'clock. We are out of time. Dang it. That's alright. Because we're kind of at a good stopping point now anyway. So, we do halves. Both of the feet is glued together. They're pretty much almost done. There's only a little bit left to do. They got their bottoms. They got their lining. It's tucked away in here, but it's in here. I swear. Huzzah. They've got their lining. It's pretty. It's cute. It's good. So I have to sew the cuffs. We have to stuff them. And then I usually shave the bottom of the feet after I stuff them because that helps the fur be the way it's going to be when it's finished because it's finished. Which is easier than shaving now. And honestly, I don't want to get out the clippers today. Because I was furry enough yesterday. So, we're going to call this good. I will probably work on these some more tonight. And they might be finished tomorrow? Question mark? I'm not sure. It depends. Sewing cuffs usually takes me frickin' forever. So, we'll find out. Oh, sewing needle. Oh, no. Oh, no, sewing needle. Oh. Oh, no, sewing needle. Snippy, snippy. Sewing needle. That's all garbage now. Anywho's. So, we're gonna call it. Hold on, let me just take everything with me. Gosh darn. I move one thing and you guys go a-flying. My bad. But I will see you guys tomorrow if you pop in for the Roller Coaster Tycoon stream, because we are playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 again tomorrow. That is now our Thursday streams. Otherwise, I will see you again next Monday for some more fursuit stuff. Listen, I'll push you against the wall however I want, Jay. Anyway, I will get a raid and we will head on our way to someone else's stream.